All right, bam. We're live. We're live here. All right, let's get this party started. Welcome. It's day 99. For those of you that have been, if you've tuned in and watched these, amazing. Would love to hear where you are today compared to where you were when you started. I don't know of anyone else that offers a 99-day business series where every day you learn exactly what you need to build your remodeling business. So for those of you that have followed, welcome. All right, let's see who all we have in the chats. Put up any questions you got, and we'll get started. But again, pretty impressive for those of you that keep tuning in. I mean, 99 days to build a business is awesome. All right. And there we go, getting started. Jimmy, welcome. Let me know where you're from. All right. Gonna talk, we're in day 99. So for the last, this is part of a 100-day series where we talk about parts of the remodeling business, what you need to win. So yeah, let me know what part of the country you're from. Good to have you, JR. Nice to see you. All right, here we go. Gonna share my screen for those of you that are watching it on YouTube. But yeah, let us know where you're from, what your specialty is. All right. So the concept I use, I kind of came up with this. I don't know anyone else talking about it. It's called the Digital Foreman. And that's, in my opinion, that's the wave of the future for any remodeler. You need a digital foreman. And what that means is it's someone who's working for you online all day long, okay? Gone are the days where you do all the selling face-to-face. Now, the sales process starts the minute the homeowner contacts you, reaches out to you, finds you on social media. You should already have a video talking for you. You should already have emails going out, text messages. It's all happening behind the scenes for you. So this is how you can scale and grow. You don't have to work nearly as hard as you used to. All right. So you have to totally rethink the way you're doing. This is hard for a lot of guys. Some of you are just getting started with your websites and your online presence, and you're thinking the way you've seen it for the last 10 years, and that's already changed. You have to be a step ahead. Your new online presence has to be current for today's standard, and that's a little bit of a wake-up call for some people. So when that homeowner lands on your website, it has to be moving them through the process. You are essentially trying to weed them out, right? And you want to be doing that 24/7. Do they understand what makes you different? Can they book a call with you directly? Can they get answers to a lot of the common questions? And can they tell the projects that you do best? And possibly, can they get some ballparks for what you charge? All that should be available in an instant on your website. So if you're not doing that, I feel for you. That should be something you should consider doing moving forward. So I want you to imagine this. Here you are. You're sleeping. You're at a job site. You're out to dinner with your family. You're handling materials. But a homeowner is looking you up right now. They should be able to have that conversation online. They should be able to help them qualify themselves and book their call. And you shouldn't have to worry about it because it should be happening behind the scenes. If your website's not doing that for you right now, you're already behind the 8 ball, which is okay. A lot of guys are. Now, this isn't magic, right? This is what a digital foreman does. They're another employee that works automatically for you, okay? And most remodelers don't have this happening right now. There's a couple, and they're killing it. You have to treat your website more like an employee nowadays. And they are your sales assistant that works for you 24/7, okay? So if your website can't do the job of helping sell you, they're going to move on to the next person. And it doesn't matter how good sometimes your Google review might be, or homeowners are going to find somebody who just makes it simpler for them. People are literally purchasing the whole process. They're just doing it from clicks of a button. Now, some people can't imagine this because you haven't had it happen, and you don't have the capacity to have it happen, right? You're like, I don't have a homeowner booking me online because do you even have the capability? Like, how could they? There are guys that have this process set up right now. It would baffle your mind to know that they are getting booked for projects and it's all being done online. They're not even having to talk to them half the time. So I know it sounds crazy. And it's going to be a rude awakening for some people. All right. So the digital foreman, this is the way you're going to see things moving in the whole industry. It's a smarter way to think about. You only have to do this. Look at what Amazon has done to purchasing online. You have to think of, are you making your remodeling process, like if you're in the kitchen business, can any consumer purchase your service that simply? Or are you making it complicated? Do they have to call you for more information? Do they have to get your voicemail, go to an answering service? Do they have to send you an email and then wait for you to magically respond at some point? Or can they just click onto your portal, scroll down, get more information immediately, engage, get their questions answered, find out rough pricing, move on to the next step of the game? Hey there, Goat. Good to see you. Welcome. Daniel, welcome. Good to have you guys. I think this is a good night for you all to be in here. Hopefully you can hang out for a few minutes. Yeah, man. Welcome. Daniel, glad to have you back, brother. Daniel, I want to visit your town where you're from. Are you on the water? Is that in the Gulf? I mean, when I looked up your area, it looks like you're in like a beach town of some sort. All right. Awesome, Goat. Great. Glad to hear that. We have to talk, Goat. We have to set up, you and I have to have a couple calls. We have to do one to do your audit, and two, we have to talk about that package that you sent me. I'm going to make a video for you on that. I want to put it on the channel. I think what you did was really cool. And I think more people should know about the success that you're having because you're out there crushing it. So, but I'll chat with you before I do that. All right. Make sure you're on board with that. All right. So look, think about this, guys. So you're out there working right now. And congrats to you for getting your website set up, which is awesome. And you're getting a lot of people on it already. I want you to think about this. Imagine for a minute how easy it is for you to go onto Amazon and purchase just about anything you want, right? Amazon has made being a consumer, buying products simple. You go to their website, it tells you everything you need to know. There's half the time there's a video, there's reviews. You purchase it, it tells you when it's going to be shipped, you know how much it's going to cost, you know the return policy. This is how you have to be thinking about your remodeling business. Your website has to turn into, you need what I'm calling the digital foreman. Hey there, Jay. I'm good to see you as well. Welcome. Got the boys in town. This is very cool. Follow me for a moment when you hear this concept. I see very quickly a big shift happening the way homeowners are purchasing a lot of their remodeling. Yeah, we got a couple old friends on here tonight. Yeah, thanks for saying hi to everybody. Um, you know, Amazon is crushing it because they made buying product simple. How many times will you just purchase something because you're like, it's easy. You know everything that you're getting, you know what you're not getting, you know when you're getting, and how much it's going to cost. Remodeling is going to come to that. All right. Your web presence has to be set up so that a homeowner, when they're looking to hire a handyman, can just go online, find you, hear you. You should be speaking to them in a recorded video. You should have some frequently answered questions that they can find right away, possibly have a chat bot, and then have instructions for how they go ahead and book you. Like, yeah, Mr. and Miss Smith, if you'd like to hire 702, the greatest of all trades, here's my calendar. You want me to come out for a half a day? Here's the approximate price for that. Like, you should just allow them to purchase online. That's what a digital foreman does. You set up your web presence so that the homeowner can just go through and have a transaction, and they don't need to call you over the phone because you've taken the most common questions, the way that most phone calls go, and you've essentially recorded it so that you can talk to that homeowner on the website. You say, hey, thanks for visiting 702, greatest of all trades. These are the common most questions we get asked. Can you do this? Can you do that? This is how we do it. This is when we do it. We work between da 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 da. So really start thinking a new way. Like, you have to have this transformation in your mind, and you have to imagine going on to Amazon, but you are purchasing your company's service. How is the homeowner going to digitally do that? That's where I see things going, and that's what I'm talking about right now. Is you need a digital foreman. Your online presence, right, is set up to help transact that business. Yeah. All right. So, all right, we'll keep going with this because I think you guys get the picture and you're going to see it. Yeah, it's happening. I'm talking with a company right now. I'll have some more information for you guys soon, but they have totally transformed the way that kitchen design and cabinets are being done. It's all done online. You literally go to their website, and the homeowner can send in and get the design work done and get the cabinets shipped right to their house. It's eliminating the contractor altogether. And this gets scary because you have to be thinking, damn, like, am I just going to become the guy who only does like this littlest part of the labor? Or am I going to be a bigger player where I want to be involved in that and offer that on my online platform? So, the industry is getting interesting, and it's changing really quick. So, all right. So imagine this: your web presence if you go with this digital foreman concept, it's now going to be, that's the way that you could have your subs greeted online, your customers that have questions about your company. They can now have an online conversation, and they get guided through your web portal. They get directed. Okay. You can keep a schedule moving with the homeowner where you just move them down the line. You can eliminate delays. You can eliminate them getting frustrated because they tried to call you, nobody answered, it went to voicemail. They tried to send you a message because you have a contact form, but you haven't replied to it. All of this could be happening in real time, right off of your web presence. So, you can show the proof of work that you've done by telling your digital story, how you've performed the tasks in the past, right? That can be a little clip that the homeowner clips on while they're on your website. They can watch a 90-second transformation of another homeowner's house. So, and you should allow booking. The homeowner should be able to book you from your web portal, all right? There should literally be a section where they say, hire us, book us, schedule us. They shouldn't have to call you anymore. It's, think of like Uber. I don't have to pick up the phone and say, can you send a ride? I just go into the app and I say, I'm here and I want to go there. Your web presence needs to be similar. The homeowner says, I need these 3 things fixed. I'd like them fixed next Wednesday. Can you do it? Perfect. All right. So that's the concept of the digital foreman. I think you guys are picking up on it, and I think you're seeing the possibilities when you look at other industries and how they've moved forward and how it can be implemented, with a little bit of tech. You don't have to be the tech knowledge person. You just have to understand you have to have the platform to let somebody build that onto for you. Um, and this is a great way for you to capture more leads, get more business, and just move through the process. Because a lot of homeowners, they don't have a lot of time to be wasting on this. They just want to get the problem fixed. So you should always have, they're called CTAs. You guys will work on, if you're doing any advertising, we'll make sure that you have a good call to action on the bottom of all your advertising. All right. So that's kind of the concept. Let me go over the AI prompt. You can copy and paste this, and you can ask the AI chat of your choice to say, create me a list of the must-have website features and functions for a residential remodeling company that wants their website to perform as a digital foreman. It should greet visitors, educate them, filter out the unqualified, allow booking, showcase our social proof, and this should be working 24/7. It should have a section where it lists, like, here's what's going to be required if you do book us, okay? And it can even allow for people to pay paper. Are you talking about pay per click? Go. I think you're talking about pay per click. So this prompt will give you the blueprint for how you can start looking at. So there's these things that are called automations. There's workflows. There's triggers. And all this can be generated right off of your web presence nowadays. Yeah, so some people in advertising, they charge you I think you're asking about pay per click. That's just every time somebody clicks on your ad, you get charged. Okay. And LSA, I think you're referring to, they call that like local services ads, right? So Google does advertising for your service based on your area. So Google is going to be doing that ad for you. I think that's what you're asking. Yeah, local services ads. The ads are a little bit different. You're only charged, Justin, to answer your question, you're only charged when the customer actually calls you or contacts you. It's tracked a little bit differently, the LSA. So Google's able to track if the person on the web clicks on the phone number and wants to call you or clicks contact you, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, they're both, you just have to be cautious. Um, yeah, some people can have complained about, they think they're being scammed by the pay per clicks because, all right, so I can talk with you more, like this is getting in the weeds, but you should put on your websites, if you have what's called landing pages. So I have like a screen capture. I have my certain web pages of mine. I have basically software that records every single time someone goes onto the page, and if they click enter, submit, Like for the digital book, Justin, I think you might have downloaded. If you download a copy of my book, I see or I can watch. I don't necessarily watch every single time it happens, but I can go back and watch the mouse, the cursor on the page, and I can watch the person scroll. I can watch them move the screen as they're reading the content or watching a video. And they have that service available for people because that's how I can determine whether it was a bot. So there's a lot of this might be more in the weeds than you want to know, but there's a lot of bots. They're these crawlers. It's basically it's not a real person that's going to your website and it's scanning it and it's extracting the data. It's part of the way it's done to verify that you have an accurate website for other search engines. Anyway, there's all this stuff going on behind the scenes. Yeah. So what's going to start happening if you start getting into online, a lot of this advertising, there might be a way you want to track some of it to make sure you're not being scammed, because someone can write a program that has a bot and it can just keep going and clicking on your ad and you're getting charged every single time, but it's not a real person. But somebody's clicking your ad, it's a bot, is what's happening. So hopefully that answers your question. We can maybe I'll make another call one day. We'll do something where I can get a little more in detail for people that want more information about online advertising, because on one hand it's amazing, but on the other hand, you got to be careful because you can get taken for a ride. What else have you been looking at, Goat? I know you've been busy. What else are you thinking about doing in your advertising? Very good. All right. What other questions are coming up for you guys as far as advertising? I'm located off the Chesapeake Bay on the East Coast in Maryland. Christian, how about yourself? What part of the country are you in? And thanks for joining the chat. So when you say, Gaither, yeah, Gaithersburg. I've worked. I was working with a company for a while down in the Gaithersburg area. I can talk to you about it offline. You're in a good market, man. That's one of the best economies in the whole country. There's a ton of money in Gaithersburg, Maryland, and a ton of people are spending it remodeling all those old homes. So yeah, welcome. Hey, Christian, let us know what type of work you do. What's your remodeling specialty? Yeah, I've been all through Montgomery County, Frederick. Not too much far. Several years ago, I worked all through DC and Virginia, back in like back during like when the economy crashed. But most of my work's more around in central to northern Maryland. Jay Allen, how are things with your everything good with your father? Is he recovering splendidly? Okay, awesome. Very good. Yeah. It's pretty nice that you have him there. That's pretty cool. So Yeah. Well, Christian, welcome. I mean, look, you're in a great area. Um, if you can do some basic advertising and a little networking, you should crush it. There's, it's. I mean, you're in a hotbed for the country. It's a great place to have a business. So I know a couple guys doing millions down that way. And, and there's nothing. The only thing getting in their way of them doing more is themselves. If you know what I'm trying to say. Like there's so much demand in that area for. There's just a lot of people have money, and there's a lot of homes that need work. So very cool. How long have you been in that area? So, so Christian, we've been talking a bunch about. All right. So hold on. Go. Are you asking about a tool belts or tool bet? Help me understand. Um, and Christian, so I look at advertising as a whole system. So you should have, a hat, some shirts. Your vehicles should be easily identified. You should have some yard signs. You should hand out some flyers, door hangers of every neighborhood that you work in. You should have a basic website, something on Facebook, something possibly on Instagram. And then you can start advertising. So here's what I would say. So my model within the remodeling world, I run a lead carpenter system. So on every job site, I have a working person who manages the project, and they work with tools. Now, they usually have a helper. So we require people to wear belts or at least a vest. If I show up, like you at least have a square, a tape measure, a pencil, a razor knife, a screwdriver, a hammer, a pry bar. Like if you don't have that on your person, then to me you didn't show up properly. Like what are you on a break? Because that's what we do, right? We fix problems, and those are the basic hand tools that we always need. Now, I don't care if they wear a tool belt or if they wear a vest, or some guys, some finished guys, when they're doing finished carpentry, prefer to wear like an apron style. That doesn't bother me. I don't, but you have to have the basic tools. Now, like if we're doing a framing job, yeah, they're going to most likely have to have bags on because now you're talking, you need your 16 penny nails, you need your 8 penny nails, right? You need some structural screws, right? You need a cat's paw. Um, you got to have your chalk box, right? So yeah, it some of it depends on the type of work they're doing. Now, hey, Tile and Grain, welcome back. Now, if I'm tiling a bathroom, I'm not going to be wearing a tool belt, but I need to have at least something where I should always have on me some sort of like a tool to help scrape excess grout or mastic or whatever you're setting the tile with to clean edges. I should always have a razor knife. I should have a Sharpie. I should have a pen. I should have a speed square, a tape measure, right? So somehow I need to have these items on me. So I either am wearing shorts with cargo pockets, whatever. A lot of the new contractor style pants have a lot of different pockets. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yeah, there you go, Jayon. So, but I'm not a big fan. If you've ever watched somebody work, all you have to do is set your camera back one day and video somebody who doesn't keep their tools on their person, and watch how much time is wasted every time they have to bend down, spin around, grab something, try to remember where they put the tape measure, where did they put their razor knife, right? And it only seems like 30 seconds here, 20 seconds there, but you're losing hours by them not being properly geared up, as a sense. So anyway, what did you how do you so Tyler and Grant, you're what are you you're asking, how do I help contractors? You were on the other night, right? Um, yeah, I like the so go to your question. I like those new vests that you see a lot of guys starting to wear. Now, it's they're not fun in the summertime, so where you are, it might be more challenging if it's hot all the time. But some of them now are mesh, and you can just clip a lot of your basic hand tools right on your. It takes the pressure off your hips too. And, I mean, as you get older, little things like that start adding up. Yeah, I mean, so tile and grain, yeah, I call it strategy, right? Like I sit down. So yeah, people hire me, and I work in and with them in their business. Like we formulate their plan. It's like some people would consider me a business partner, right? Some people would just want to figure out how to solve a problem and stop losing or stop having this thing, or how do we get over this hurdle or hump. Here's how I equate it. So when I got started in the business, I knew of companies that coached or helped or strategized with remodelers, but they would only take on big businesses. You had to be like 15 years in business, doing 10 million or more. And I was like, that's why are you putting all these restrictions around helping somebody grow? People need the growth when they're earlier on in their business to get over the humps. And I found a guy out in Malibu, California, who, after being very persistent, and I kept like hammering him, I kept calling him saying, "Hey, I want your guidance. You've done this before. You've helped other people do this. I need to get out of my own way. The only way I'm going to grow is, one, it's going to take me years of getting my way, or I need like a mentor. I need someone to guide me." And finally, after being persistent, he said, "All right, I'll take a chance on you." And I hired him. And that's what totally, I went from like here doing like this to going like that. Because imagine when somebody else who's already gone down the road that you're trying to go can give you an aerial view, and you're frustrated because you're driving to work and you're in traffic. And it's like he's in an airplane up above and he can tell you, "Hey, brother, that road, the way you're going right now, there's like all these accidents up ahead. You should go this way now and turn here and go there." And that's what somebody can do, like in my position as a strategist for you. When we figure out where you're trying to go, we can already determine the roadblocks that you're most likely going to hit. And so we come up with a plan now to help you navigate them. That way you get there a lot quicker. So, yeah. So, yes, thank you, Jan. Yeah. So, look, Tylen Green, if you, like you said, I think you're following the account. I think I messaged you last night. I wanted to thank you for asking the questions. I don't know how often you use TikTok, but go into your messages. You might have to accept them. They might be blocked. And yeah, you can set up a strategy call, and you can. So like Jay Allen and Goat, they've been on. I'll do group calls that are different than this structure. Like we all talk. You're on Zoom, I'm on Zoom, and we can talk about what's happening in the remodeling space in your business, and we can come up with like strategies. Yeah, exactly, Jay Allen. Right? Like it's it's always nice. Like when you're the person doing the thing, we only see it the way we see it, where somebody else sitting off to the side is like, whoa, why are you doing it that way? And not that it's like there's an easier, they might see you struggling and they can say, There's an easier way to go about this that we just don't even notice it because we have our head down. Yeah. So Jay Allen, thank you for sharing that. You're absolutely correct. And I, so I didn't get in when I got into construction. I worked for a few years selling advertising and telecommunications to contractors. And the companies that I worked for, what was amazing was every week we would have meetings where the team, there'd be like 65 of us in a big conference room. And there'd be our manager up there, and he'd be going around talking to everybody like, hey, what problems are you running into on the street? What kind of complaints? What are the objections that you're getting to our service? And you would voice the problems, and then somebody else in the room could say, that happened to me like 3 years ago. And this is what I started learning. If I did this and that, that no longer becomes a problem. And we would do this because as a new person in the business, our company wanted us around people that had been doing the same thing for 10 years so that we could learn as fast as possible so that the whole company would be more successful. And in the remodeling world, in trades in general, that model doesn't exist because we're all independent operators. So you don't get to, unless you have a unique networking arrangement, you're probably not getting around other tradesmen where you can share that and not be concerned that they're trying to take your business. In general, most people I find that get into the trades business want to help others succeed as well. Nobody typically wants to watch somebody struggle unnecessarily, right? That's not fun, but it's a lot of fun to watch your buddies win and have success and like enjoy life. So that's where this whole concept comes from, is setting up a foundation, a place where tradespeople, right? Specifically, my background specifically is remodeling services, that we can all get together and everybody can learn. I'm not saying I have all the right answers. Believe me, I've made a ton of mistakes, but I've at least can share, hey, this is what I've seen others do. This is what things that I've tried. And most often, if there's iterations that you'll see and go, damn, that okay. And it gives you some insight. I hear you go. Yeah, no, I get there's some people you wouldn't like to watch them. I hear that, yes. But yeah, I mean, it's something that's really interesting about our industry. So during the pandemic, I got a friend of mine has a brokerage, real estate brokerage in the area, and they needed someone to help their realtors. He was hiring new realtors all the time. He had like 400 realtors working for him. So he set up, they called it like a quick start program. You would come in and I would sit with a realtor and help them figure out, because I had a real estate license while I was a contractor at one point. And I would be like, hey, these are real estate contracting, all of it's up here. Your success is really, whether you have it or not, it's what you're thinking about it. And I would sit down with new realtors and help them come up with a strategy and a game plan for how they can start getting out there and tackling business, right? I mean, it's the same concepts. But realtors do a better job. Like when you get a realtor's license, you work for a broker. That broker makes it mandatory that you get training. Like you have to come in and work with somebody to get geared up for success. And most realtors we work with, they get a 12-week program. And in 12 weeks, a realtor can get launched. Now, remodeling takes a little bit longer because it's a little more complex, but it's a similar concept. Yeah. So I think, tile and grain, I don't think your situation is very unique in that. So here's what I'm saying. We like to think that our problem, like we're the only one that has this, like it's very unique. But when in general, you can ask anybody in this chat, they're trying to figure out better ways to market and advertise. I know Goat just got set up with his web presence. He has a guy helping him. He's just got, he's looking at different ways to advertise. I know Jay Allen gets a lot of his clients off of Google, right? And he's looking at ways to enhance that. Like everybody is trying to maneuver in the same parameters and experiencing similar, we all have to learn similar concepts. Yeah, Jay, you know what's funny about that? So you are, I love, Jay, you just put it right out there because you're absolutely correct. I've been very fortunate. I've gotten to work for some huge companies. I got to work for R.H. Donnelly, Dun& and Bradstreet, the largest publishing company in the world. I got to work for Nextel Communications for a couple of years, one of the largest telecommunication companies in the country at one point. I've gotten to work for Caterpillar, the largest equipment manufacturing company in the world. And I've gotten sales training from all of those and business training from all three of those organizations. And even sometimes those organizations, sometimes they'll hire the wrong person to do some of their sales training. If you don't understand the industry first, then the person giving you the advice, they can give you a basic concept, but they don't understand the real struggle. What I found is I've been in homeowners' houses for over 20 years. Like I, I, I get a phone call. I drive over. I look at their kitchen. I look at their deck. I see their fence that's falling down, the tree that fell through the back of the house, right? And so over the years, I've dealt with hundreds of homeowners and situations. So yeah. And then I've been very fortunate because I've been trained by some of these amazing companies. I've taken their high level business training and I've done the best that I can to how it relates and how it would help a remodeler. And first, I put it into practice in my business. And when I saw it work well for me, I had a couple other. This is how it got started. I was using a business coach myself. And while I'm getting strategy for my business, I had two coaches. One helped me with one thing, one helped me with another. He kept saying, Mike, I have a couple people that are in your industry. He goes, I can give them basic business sense and skills, but I don't understand remodeling. Would you help me out? Would you work with them? So he helped me start working with other remodelers in my area. And that's where things started to transition. I started finding that I enjoyed doing that more than I did running my remodeling business. So that's how a lot of this all transpired. I was being asked to help other remodelers because I understand the specific nuances. It's a much different industry than a lot of people realize. They don't understand what it's like when you're dealing with a homeowner in their house, right? And we have to deal with a lot of weirdness and emotions that come up. And then there's a lot of negativeness that a lot of homeowners, because for years homeowners have looked down on the trades. So we have to do a lot of things to help build our repertoire and our status up. So but, yeah. Tyler Green, you're going to get various answers on the CRM. So there's free versions, there's paid versions. I think Jay Allen, what do you use? Is it House Call Pro? Thanks, go. Yeah, so Jay Allen uses House Call Pro. Um, there's free ones you can use. There's one called Zoho. You could get started with Zoho today. You can set up a free email with them. You can put it in your company name, and you can start a free. I mean, there's a lot. Okay, so Goat is using QuickBooks. Goat, I just saw your fanny pack comment. I don't know why TikTok. So that, and for Tile and Grain, you're a little new, and Daniel, if you're still here from Mexico, you're a little new. Understand this. TikTok is a very sensitive app. It it the best way I can describe it is it censors a ton of stuff. So a lot of my videos get censored. I've had to learn to not say certain words. So when you're commenting, it censors your comments often. I got to go in sometimes and see if I can unlock the comment. So anyway, I say all that to say, go your fanny pack comment. I think it's funny as hell. Like, yeah, you don't want to see guys wearing a fanny pack on a job site, but TikTok took offense to that and was restricting that comment. I think tile and grain, to go back to your question, I think the question to start looking at is first, you have to have at least a spreadsheet, like on your computer somewhere, Google Sheet, Microsoft Excel, somewhere that you keep a record of every homeowner, name, address, phone number, email, project that you did for them, when you did it, how much the job was, whether it was profitable or not. And then you should keep a list of all your prospects. And I would keep a list of, if you don't get hired, somebody in the company should be calling all these people back. And sometimes it takes 3 and 4 phone calls and find out why they didn't hire you. And always ask them another why. Because a lot of people will try to tell you we found someone cheaper. And a lot of times that's not true. They'll just say that to kind of, I don't know, it's like they want to be nice. But if you dig down a little bit deeper, then you'll really find out the reason why sometimes they didn't hire you. So anyway, I would encourage you to at least keep a database like that on your computer somewhere. And then you can export these files into most CRMs so that you can do your outreach. Yeah. When they don't, you ask them to, you got to follow up with people. And, if you've taken the time to meet with somebody and give them an estimate or a proposal or bid, whatever you're calling it, however you're doing, and if you have every right, in my opinion, to follow back up. What's the status? What's going on? Who are you hiring? If you're not hiring someone, why? Did you find out the job costs too much? Or you've changed your mind? You want to hire someone cheaper? Whatever. Okay. Very good. Yeah. Yeah. So, and for me, anytime I have, so this is good information, Tom. Great. Anytime somebody tells me something around price or basically any answer, I'll usually ask them, and why is that? What was it about that did it make you nervous? Why did it make you nervous? Like, tell me. Say, I'm a little confused. Can you help me understand? Because sometimes you'll find that there's a little more truth beneath the surface to what's really going on. Early on, I learned, I was shocked. This is what started the whole reason I get on a campaign about getting paid to estimate is when I was new, I was getting used as a price checker constantly. I had a nice website. We had a good social media presence. So homeowners thought we came across as a very reputable professional company. So homeowners were calling me out all the time to price check against the buddy of theirs that they wanted to hire. I didn't even know this was happening in the very beginning. And so these are the types of things that you have to be aware of that could be taking place, and that's why I started coming out with, well, I'm not going to price check for you so that you can figure out whether the other contractor is a good deal or not. So that's why we came up with we do either it's called a feasibility study, a paid planning design session. Um, if I'll give you information, but you have to pay for it. I'm not just going to give you all my knowledge for free anymore. If you want a ballpark, I'll give that over the phone for free all day long. But see, that's not what most homeowners want. Most homeowners want you to come out, see the job. They want details. Well, for that, there should be a price. And then for the homeowners that hire us, it gets discounted back. So Yeah, Daniel, I can imagine where you are. It's probably very cutthroat and competitive. Um, we can talk more. Daniel, if you want to try to book one of these calls, you're welcome to as well. You just have to message me. But I think, do you have a lot of tourists and a lot of property owners, people that own like vacation homes and rentals? Are you on the water? Like when I looked up your town, it looked like you're a destination area, but maybe I'm misunderstanding. I've never been where you live, so help me understand that. So if I was in a tourist area like yourself, I would try to see if I could get in touch with people that own the properties and see if I could work directly for them. Um, I don't know. You have to, in my opinion, you want to get around people that have a little more money and they just want to get things done quickly and they'll be willing to pay a little bit more because they just want to have it taken care of, right? They don't want the headaches because for them, if they can't get the property turned around quick enough, if they can't get it, the, their, they don't want to miss the vacation season. Those people are going to be willing to pay more money to know that it's being done right quickly, on time, on schedule, and being done right the first time. So, yeah, yep, Jayon, yep, goat, very good. Yeah, yeah, I've had mixed. You know what's interesting? I've had mixed experiences with property managers in my area. So we have a big mall by us, and it's a nice mall, or it was. It's the neighborhood's turning a little bit, but for many years it was an amazing mall. And the way one of the property managers was working at the time was they had a list, and they would have what's called a preferred contractor. And if you were on the preferred list, that meant that you could get in, get out, solve the I'm sorry. Now this was commercial work. So we would go in and help stores in the mall do like resets, build outs, change things. Like we had one of the stores wanted to put in a waterfall behind the cash register, right? They wanted like a 8 foot by 15 foot wall built, and they wanted a circulating pump and like some nice cedar wood out on the front and whatever, rock and all this jazz. So, but they needed it built overnight, right? So they were willing to pay a little bit more money if we could come in overnight, build this thing. Basically, we had to pre-build it at our shop and then bring it there and essentially assemble it. And by doing it that way, it was a very profitable job for us. So I say that to say you're right. In general, some property managers can be disaster to work for. They're going to nickel and dime. So be careful and just you have to kind of investigate a little bit further, you know, and find there's a couple good ones out there, and those are the ones you want to focus on. Hey Parker, congratulations. That's awesome. I did a little painting. I worked for student painters one summer when I was in college. I'm on the East Coast in Maryland, off of the Chesapeake Bay. So very cool. Okay. Yep. Daniel, I hear you. That can be a little bit of a challenge if there's a language barrier. Can you get an advocate? Is there somebody that could help you within the business that maybe could be like your agent in a sense, a family member? Maybe they could make a couple, like do a little outbound phone calls for you, um, do a little outreach and help you if the communication becomes a little bit of an issue. I don't know. Hmm. When Parker, when you say you just started, I like how many months are you into the business? Yeah, thanks for. Okay, good. So you got a guy. Um, yeah. So Daniel, I looked you up or like your location. It looks like it's a nice vacation place. So it looks beautiful down there. Very fortunate, I guess. And from my perspective, it's probably a pretty cool place to live. Uh, Daniel, I think with some of the way social media and the apps are working, I think the language barrier will be less and less over time. Um, I don't know. It's something to consider is to try to get yourself set up. You know, this business, like a lot of others, the way to make the most amount of money is to have the fewest amount of players, right? That's what's nice about being the general contractor, as opposed to sometimes just being the tradesperson, like a single trade. If you want to get into more like remodeling work, because if you're the GC, it's usually the homeowner and the GC, and then there's the trades. The subs come in through the GC, and so if you're a sub, which is fine, the more that you can direct your communication where you're being hired and working directly for the homeowner, the property manager, the better, because there's less layers involved where money might be you know being exchanged as you go up and down the chain in a sense. So Daniel, one of the things that I think could help you a lot is really having, this is where your social media and your web presence, the concept of the digital foreman, if you can set your website up in a way that, follow me here for a minute, you speak directly to the property owners of the area, right? Because you can easily have your website translated into any English or any language that the property owner needs it to be in. And so a lot of your communication can just be done online, digitally, through a web page. Um, you could make a video or two that could easily get translated into other languages, and that might help you as well. So that when people are searching for your service down there, they can see that like you're the go-to guy. Because it is one nice thing about living in a town where the homeowners might be from out of state, out of country. They don't know who to call. They don't know who to hire. So they're most likely having to go online somehow to figure that out. And if you can keep showing up in all their searches, I think you can drive a lot of business that would come directly to you, because you become the conduit for solving the out of country property owners' issues with their investment properties, their vacation rentals, let's call them. Yeah, yeah, good point. Yeah, yep. It helps to have someone that can help you translate. I don't nowadays. It's not. I used to carry around a little guidebook, right? I mean, but that's not necessary nowadays. I can just have it talk on my phone. Yeah, go. You should know that. Yeah, Jayon's down there in Houston, I believe, is what he's going to tell us. Welcome. All right. Yeah. So, Tyler Green. I'm in Maryland. I live right off the Chesapeake Bay. Yeah, yeah, Daniel. I think that's going to be your big. I think I think over time you imagine you set up your website so that it answers the questions of what like basically it would say, hey, property owners, do you own a vacation rental in this town? Are you looking for your go-to to get your tile and stonework done? Contact us directly. We take care of all the problems. You know, we're quick, we're efficient, we'll be in, we'll be out, we'll get you so that you can have that property back up and being rented in no time, right? That's kind of like a essentially the message that you kind of want to have your web presence putting out there. That way, when the out of the country property and owner is Googling or searching online, AI, however be it, your page comes up for them, and hopefully a couple videos. Yeah, get us. Yeah, I can't find a lot on you online. It looks like you're getting all that set up, but definitely, get some good video, get some photos. If you're talking to me, Jan, it's already cold. I told you I already had to go around and winterize the spigots. It's probably not as cold as it is for Tile and Grain. He's in Michigan. I think he's in Michigan. Mhm. Yeah, Minnesota. That's right. Yeah, yeah. So where I'm at in Maryland, the elevation, we got the beach, and then it steadily climbs as you go out west. Out west, I already got snow the other day. We haven't seen snow yet. So that's that's great, Jam. Yeah, 69. You're freezing. Got to start a fire. I got you. I'm hoping it would get up to 69 degrees these days. Awesome, JL. I missed that. Tile and grain. So yeah, I've primarily been in Maryland. I've worked all around Pennsylvania, Virginia, DC, and Maryland. Those are um, when I was first deciding if I wanted to get in and run my own remodeling company. I had a friend who lived out in Pittsburgh. He was in construction. I went and lived with him for a little while. Helped build like a big. He was building a new funeral home, right? So I showed up as a carpenter and helped them build a huge funeral home out there. Um, Things like that. When I wanted to see if I really wanted to get into the industry. But yeah, so personally, I've only run my business in this East Coast, and then of course, I have experience working with people throughout the country. Um, the first guy that helped me, I used to fly out to California every year to meet with him, and he would do workshops that we would come out to and meet with him. So I've always been able to meet people from across the country and learn how they're doing it. So Jay Allen, tell us about this. What was the? This is good. You had a repeat customer. What was today's repair? So, hmm, was that a vent issue? Why would the yeah. Jay Allen's a plumber extraordinaire down there, well versed in many a trade, but currently running right. You're gonna tell us that in a minute, Jay Allen. Interesting. Did you have to? Was this? Did you have to break through the slab, or was this on the way outside of the property? I'm assuming if you're talking roots, how come? I'm trying to figure out why wouldn't there would only be one drain going out to the sewer or septic, right? Just outside the foundation. Okay, yeah, they did get lucky. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So Tylen Green, Jay Allen is crushing it. He's been in the trades a long time. He can give you his rundown on his knowledge and all the different. But he just celebrated 1 year starting with this new plumbing business of his. So they're crushing it. Go. You got some good pictures. Oh, these are these the cabinet doors? What were you? You showed me your spray booth the other day. What were you? Are you doing interior doors, cabinet doors? It looked like I could see off to the side. It looked like you had some regular doors. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, tile and grain. To your point, yeah, plumbing is definitely has an emergency service element to it. When people want to have water go away when they don't want it, and they want to have fresh water coming in when they want that. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be curious Jay, on to your point about these showers in a day. I'd be curious, Tile and Graham, what you're seeing in your marketplace regarding that. We have a couple companies that have completely come out into the marketplace where one is next day baths, or one day. I think they do 24-hour bath turnaround. Literally, they come in, demo it, and the next day they're bringing in those panel systems, and you're seeing people get away from the tile work, and they're setting in the three-piece walls, and the homeowner gets a bathroom in one day now. Yeah, I think it's interesting. There's a lot of people that have one main bath in their house. So I mean, I can see the problem and the frustration. Okay, to the older clients, yeah, that can make sense. I've never utilized or had. We've never had a homeowner request that style. Now we don't market that we do it, so I mean, or advertise, so that could be part of the issue. You know, I still think a lot of people like tile, but I guess there's a growing number of people that want that seamless shower look. I don't know. It's interesting. Do you guys, Tile and Green, do you offer that service? Will you do those wall panels as well, or Is that something you don't want to get into or don't do at all? Okay. All right. Yeah, so that's going to be more a specialty product like a designer or okay. Yeah, the typical homeowner is not going to be looking for that. I got you. Mhm. Well, what's that saying? You can have it you can pick any two of the three, good, fast, cheap, you know? You just can't get all three. So Goat, I haven't utilized your gift card. I want to we have to talk. I want to make a video. We should do something where I can show some people the stuff that you sent me and talk about that. So don't worry. I'm going to spend it before Christmas. Is that fair enough? So Goat sent me a nice gift package the other day. It was really generous, really nice. Sent me a couple of his company gear, some shirts, some stickers, sent me some Halloween candy, sent me a nice, generous gift card to one of the big box stores. So, very nice gift package. And I don't have it in front of me right now, but it was very thoughtful. And so go, thank you so much. It was amazing. Really appreciative. You don't have to do that kind of stuff, but I do appreciate it. So thank you. You know what? I'm not a huge candy person, but I'll tell you right now, the peanut butter and chocolate stuff. I'll eat that for sure. And that's what he happened to put in there. There was some Reese's. So yeah, I didn't give that away. Yeah. All right. No, and yes, you didn't have to do it, and I appreciate you doing it. And I just want you to know that thank you so much. Like it was very thoughtful, and it's awesome. So I value it. I appreciate it. Uh, Daniel, you get $400 for a walk-in shower 5 by 8 with your boss. All right. Yeah, I wouldn't know your market down there at all, what things cost. It'd be interesting to find out. Yeah, I mean, yes, Jayhan, that's a good point. 5 8, that's a nice walk-in shower for sure. Yeah, so Daniel, I don't know how many years you have. If you're confident and comfortable doing the work, really it just comes down. The thing that I've found over the years is most guys struggle with the business side. The way I like to say it is most guys can swing a hammer, but they can't swing a business. And the more that you can learn the business acumen, business skills, and stack that, the more successful you'll be. You don't even have to be the best at swinging the hammer. You just have to be decent at swinging a hammer. And I'm using that metaphorically. As long as you can do tile work that looks good, most, here's what's funny. Most homeowners, that's not the number one thing that comes up on the list. They want to know that you do good work, right? They need to know that you're not a hack. But in all my years, I've only had two or three homeowners actually go visit when I've offered to have them come to a job site. Very few of them ever take me up on that offer to come look at work that we've done for other people. Most of them just take our word and it will acknowledge from a picture. And I can tell you right now, any picture of any job site, it might look good from far, but sometimes it's far from good, right? You can't tell tons of details from photos. You can hide a lot of stuff in photos. Oh, that's awesome, tile and grain. Okay. That's very encouraging for Daniel. Exactly. It looks great for my house. I mean, that's the joke, right? 2 weeks. Man, look at you guys are all living large. You got these nice big walk-in showers. That's awesome. You don't have to worry about shower doors. You just walk in, turn the corner. Hmm. Probably got dual shower overhead. You probably have a rain shower, Jayon. I bet you have the body wash, massagers. You probably have the whole package. Go. You're gonna have two or three of them in no time. All right, Daniel. Awesome. So you were in Fresno and you've been working for your boss. Very cool. And all right, so tile and grain. You lost your job in COVID and took an internship with a tile setter. Well, tile and grain, I mean, I saw some of your videos. I mean, some of that work's very impressive. So you've really come a long way in a very short period of time. Congratulations. Um, I mean, COVID was just, that you're talking less than 5 years, so give or take. And Jayon, you got the party shower. The whole neighborhood's. That's right. Go. I'm excited to see the plans that you're going to have for your next place. You're going to be living in there sooner than you think. Yeah. It's interesting. You've probably taken advantage of this tile and grain if wherever, like your local tile distributor or wherever, I don't know if you use weedy pans or weedy boards or wherever you buy your Schluter from. Typically, if you go to like a tile distributor, a lot of those places, they have reps, right, for all those products. And so I'll give you an example. For years, I would have the Schluter and the weedy guy come out and show my guys how to install their product on the homeowners' houses over and over again. Every time we hired a new guy, a new crew, I would call up the rep and I'd say, hey, on this job coming up, we're going to be putting in a weedy pan. And they would send out their rep. We'd have him come to the job site and he would show my guys exactly how the manufacturer wants that weedy pan set. We'd call on the next one, we'd be like, hey, we're doing Schluter. And we'd get the Schluter rep. We'd set that appointment up. He would come out and again work with my guys right on site and show them exactly how that product's to be installed. So that's one nice thing about the tile industry is if you work with your manufacturer reps, they'll help you teach all your guys and grow pretty quickly. Okay, very good. Yeah. The It's funny. One of the companies I was helping a while back, they had a lot of pride. The owner of the company and his son did all their own mud pans by hand. They would not use a weedy pan, a Schluter system. Um, they do mud. Now they use the rubber membrane, right? They set that, but they pack and build that floor base. So we signed a huge contract with it was like 16 big box stores. We were going to be the installers for, and we had to train a bunch of people how to do their pans that way, because that was one of the ways that that company would market and land a lot of jobs. Is we do our pans the old fashioned process, but we use new fashioned technology. It's kind of like their slogan. So um, everybody's got their own way. You know, it's one of the things that's interesting about the industry. There's a lot of different ways to get the job done. The homeowner just sees the tile. They don't even understand all the differences to what goes in underneath to make that tile either work well or not work well as far as retarding water. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're correct. All these new systems speed things up, make it easy. Um, and some guys still want to know the old-fashioned way of making sure they know how to do it. Texas law, plumber's supposed to be the one that sets the pan. Yeah, that makes sense. I can see why that is. Now, Jayon, it's interesting. That's not the case where I am, but what was real interesting about this company that I was working with, the owner of the company was a brilliant man. I've never met anyone. He's the only person I've ever known that in my state, he had his electrical contractor license. So he's a master electrician. He's a master plumber, master gas fitter. So he has the HVAC, all those licenses, and the home improvement contractor license. One man has all these licenses. And then basically he had his entire family like worked in the business. He had his sons, his daughters, his wife, and then they were involved in a large community. I think a lot of church people worked with him. So, but he's the only person I've ever met that in this industry that had all that knowledge and all those licenses. Insane. But if you want the contractor warranty, they want to install it. Okay. Yeah, I guess. So how's Jay on? How's that help it? How does that happen with so you come out if the contractor's doing a weedy pan, for instance, they set it, or you're actually setting it, or are you just making the drain connection, or are you actually overseeing how the pan is set in place? Help me understand that part. We recently got our build. Okay, it's tile and grain. Nice. Yeah. I mean, it can be a good niche. I don't know what your goals are, but in my state, you have to have one license to let you do remodeling work, and then there's another license if you want to be a home builder, if you're trying to bring something new up out of the ground. The remodeler can add additions, so I can build additions onto a house, and I can rebuild a house that existed, has a foundation. Um, Only see them leak and redo the pan properly. Okay. So Jayon, did you get a bunch of calls? Do a lot of the bathroom remodelers in your area, are they calling you and you come out real quick, and take the morning to set the pan for them? Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how that works down the road. I could see you forming some relationships with some of them. So very cool. All right. All right. Well, listen, fellas, it's been very interactive. I appreciate everybody's comments. Um, it's pretty cool to learn and see what you guys are getting into and the differences across the country. Everybody's got a different skill set. Everybody's got different experiences, and that's pretty neat. So thank you guys all for commenting. So today was day 99 of the 100 days that I've been doing this. Tomorrow, yeah, I agree, Jayon. It's really cool. Um, Tomorrow's day 100, and I'm just going to do a little bit of a summary of the stuff that I've gone over. So, and then we'll figure out what's on tap going forward. I'm going to come up with a new plan. So, yeah, I hear you on that, Jayon. Yeah, I got to get on a little bit earlier. I'm working towards that plan. Um, if you and I know nobody cares. It's kind of like I should play my own violin. The and I've shared this a little bit with you, but it may not seem like much, but it takes me about 3 hours to get all this prep work done. I make a thumbnail for the YouTube video. I make a short little 30-second video letting people know on Facebook that I'm doing this. Like, so this 100 days, it's been grueling, to say the least. Now, I enjoy this part the most, right? And part of it's just been, I wanted to have a foundation of 100 days for any remodeler who is inclined to say, you can come here every day and I mean, literally 100 different topics that you can learn about to go into your business. And it's all on the YouTube channel. So it's been a fucking process to say the least. But I made a Google Doc. So if you're part of the Rebel program, you get access to this document. It is now, I think it's 700 pages of yeah, it's like 700 pages of content. So anyway, not that anybody cares about that, but it's a lot. It's gone in, probably 6 or 7 pages per night comes into this. So, all right, guys, you all are the best. I really appreciate it. It's fascinating. I'm really amazed at seeing the diversity and just, how everybody's spread across the country. So I lost the guy from Maryland. Um, that's also been a little interesting. I haven't attracted too many people from right where I am. But anyhow, you guys are the best. Thank you. Yeah. Go listen, brother. It's awesome to watch you really crush it. So awesome, Daniel. Yeah. Keep posting some videos and keep us updated. Um, I, please hear me. Like, this really is, you can't not put enough content out there for people to see how you are, what you do. Over time, it really makes a difference to get some of your work. Let people see what you do. It's just the way people learn nowadays. Everything's done online. So I encourage you guys to try to, show off some of your work. You're not showing off like bragging. It's like everyone now has a digital showroom, right? That's all. And you get to post your videos so people can see the work you do. Just like having a storefront on Main Street. In the past, you'd have to build a little, sample bathroom, or you'd have to build a sample wall to show off your tile work. Well, now you can just show everybody a video. So, all right, you guys are awesome. Again, thanks for being here. We'll be back tomorrow to wrap up the series, and we'll figure out what's next. If like anyone that's been here a couple of nights, if you have some concept, if there's anything that you're saying, man, I'd really like to learn more about this or that, you can shoot me a message, or if you're on tomorrow, let me know. So I'm trying to come up with some ideas. I have some thoughts about what I want to do going forward, but I haven't finalized it. Yeah. No, tile and grain, I could totally see that. You have some, I mean, you've done some really nice high-end work. And if I'm a homeowner, you know, I would totally be inclined to say this work looks sharp. You guys are clean. The lines look sharp. I think homeowners can get a sense for how professional you are. And I totally think it makes, when you actually end up talking to them or showing up, it's much easier for you to land the job, because I believe partly what's happening is you've already sold them because they saw your process, they saw your video. And now you just have, as long as you show up sober, clean, good frame of mind, you can communicate well, the homeowner realizes they can trust you. I can see you landing the jobs fairly quickly at that point. So that's awesome. All right. All right, Jan, you have an awesome night. Goat, Daniel, Tile and Grain, you guys all, thank you so much. You guys, we'll see you next time. Take care.